Okay, hello and good morning. Let's take a look here. We're base 4, and what we're going to do is subtract. Well, 4 minus 1 is going to give you 3, base 4. But you can't subtract 4 from 3, so you're going to borrow 1. This becomes a 4. But the 1 you borrow is actually going to be worth 4 because it's base 4. So you're going to put a 4 here. So that's actually going to be 7. And 7 minus 4 is going to give you 3. And then 4 minus 2 is going to give you 2. And there you go. This one right here is base 5 and you're multiplying, okay? So 5 times 3 is 15, and 8 goes into 15 one time with a remainder of 7. So put a 7 here and carry that 1. 5 times 5 is 25, plus 1 is 26. And 26 divided by 8 is 3, that's 24. Use your calculator if you have to. The remainder is 2. So put a 2 and carry your 3. 5 times 4 is 20, plus that 3 makes 23. So 23 divided by 8. 8 and 8 is 16. And when you subtract, you get 4, 5, 6, 7. So you're going to get a 7, and you're going to carry that 2. And that's how you should do multiplying. And actually, we're not done yet. So you got to go to the next number here. So you're on the second number, so you have to put a 0 here. So 2 times 3 is 6, and that's not enough. So put a 6 here. 2 times 5 is 10. Okay, let me scratch out these carryovers. 2 times 5 is 10. And 8 does go into 10 one time with a remainder of 2. So put a 2 and then carry your 1. And then 2 times 4 is 8, plus that 1 makes 9. And 8 goes into 9 one time with a remainder of 1. So you're going to put a 1 and you're going to carry the 1. And the 1 you're going to carry is right there. And so what you're going to do is add all this up. So this is going to be 7. 6, 7, 8. Since it's 8, you're going to carry 1. Put a 0. 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. You're going to have a remainder of 2. Carry 1. 2, 3, 4. And then bring down that 1 right there. And this is base 8. And there it is. And that's how you should do multiplying. Today you have a worksheet. So if you're at home and you can't get the worksheet, here it is. All you have to do is copy it. I think some of us are familiar with copying. In any event, here's the rest of it. This is adding and subtracting. If you get stuck, ask for help. Let's turn our attention now to college algebra. Okay, so for college algebra, let's see what's going on here. Okay, so it's two things. I want you to find the inverse, and then I'm going to have you verify. And you might be like, well, how do you verify? Well, I'm going to show you that in a minute. But let's take a look here. Plus, we're going to watch a short video that's going to explain what an inverse function is. So to do the inverse, remember the first thing you do is switch. So you're going to put the x here, and you're going to put the y over here. And then you have to be able to solve this equation for y. Well, the question yesterday was, which one do you get rid of first? Well, you always get rid of the number with the variable last. So that means you're going to get rid of that. So you're going to subtract 2. So it's going to be x minus 2 is equal to 3y. And then you're going to divide by 3, and you get x minus 2 divided by 3. And that's the inverse. Could you write it differently? Yeah, you could split that up and say x over 3 minus 2 over 3. You could do that. This one right here, again, you switch it, so it's going to be x equals y squared plus 5. So I'm going to subtract 5, so it's going to be x minus 5 is equal to y squared. Then I'm going to take the square root, and I'm going to get y is equal to the square root of x minus 5. And that's how you do the inverse. Let's talk about verifying. Copy this one down right here. All right, so here is the function, and they gave you the inverse. And if you plug this inverse and usually denote it like a f negative 1. If you substitute it here for the x, if you end up with x, then it is the inverse. If you don't end up with x, it's not the inverse. So I'm going to scratch this out, and I'm going to say x minus 6. I'm going to use a different color to show you that I'm substituting right here. So I'm putting all of this right here. So it's going to be x minus 6, and then plus 6. Well, guess what? You get x, right? There it is. So that is the inverse. Take a look at this one. Copy that one down. Okay, I'm going to substitute all of this in place of the x. So it's going to be 1/2 times my substitute, and my substitute is 2x plus 14. Now remember, we're shooting for x. If you don't get x, it's not the inverse. Half of 2 is 1x, and half of 14 is 7, and then minus 7, that cancels. We end up with x. So yes, that is the inverse function, denoted by f of negative 1. And there it is. What are we doing today? Well, we're going to do a worksheet. Here's the worksheet. All right, now I didn't tell you here, see how it says inverse and they give you points? All you do is switch the x and y. So the inverse function, or these points, would be negative 3 and 1. So you just switch them, 3 and negative 2. Okay, you can finish that up, right? All right, here's the rest of it. So if you're at home and you can't be with us, sorry about that, but here it is, and you can copy it down. All right? And you're going to do your work right here on this sheet of paper right here. Okay? I want the work on this sheet of paper. Okay, so have a good morning, and guess what? I'll see you in